Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at ICP, double check a few key factors, see what's going on. We broke through that nice little resistance at 1320. Potential retest there. Technically, we've already retested that if we look at that right, but we may see the price actually consolidate and hang out there before it legs up again or pulls back further. So we're going to double check a few important things, just kind of see roughly if there's any telling signs of a reversal here. We've got a pretty decent amount of continuation upside without correction. So I do think that correction is going to come. And while the price didn't pull back to this 1240 mark, it certainly continued higher after it broke its descending trend line. So that's a very, very positive sign. I do feel like ICP appears to be back on track here, but we want to double check just to be thorough. Okay, so let's look at the liquidation levels first, go from there. Quick congrats to our community members for some nice profits on our Bitcoin long. 20% in 2.5 hours. That was just a quick little 10x leverage trade. Found a nice 2% increase from 99.6 to 1015, and essentially at this point kind of hanging out waiting to see if that $100,000 mark was going to hold. We can see that reflected here with ICP as well. We have very similar price action. Okay, so Bitcoin does look like it wants to pull back to its local low, or sorry, local high, new potential low. And if that does happen, we could see a similar price action for ICP. But ICP is performing a little bit stronger than Bitcoin is. It kicked up above its little handle pattern there, and it looks like it wants to consolidate this 1360 mark. Let's look at liquidation and see what's going on here. We can see a lot of liquidation on the upside. These folks, I don't know why, but they just keep on shorting. I think some people just like to short when a coin is overextended. And it's funny because you'll find some success with that sometimes, but overextension in crypto right now, folks, it doesn't mean too much. And just because something's up 15% on the day or something doesn't mean you just instantly open a short. That's like novice traders tactics 101. Like they do that all the time and get destroyed. So try not to fight against the grain. The concept right now is that most altcoins are doing well, and to try to short into that doesn't make a ton of sense. Anyways, I say that because you can see a lot of liquidation on the upside here, implying we have a lot of people shorting this coin right now, which is a terrible idea. It's just not right. So again, either way, $14.25 upwards to $16. We could see that in the near future. Probably more like $15 would be the immediate high, but generally speaking, there's a lot of liquidation there letting us know further upside is probable. However, we do got to recognize that we have just as many people taking longs as we do shorts, so the liquidation delta is pretty much at equilibrium. So honestly, we could see a slight reversal because we're starting to see less people shorting in the overall sense, but I would say at this point that doesn't tell us too much. What is helpful though is to look at open interest here and kind of see roughly where people are, where we see the most amount of positions. And it seems pretty obvious here that we got 1435 as the heaviest concentration there locally. That's from the previous low where people bought the dip. And then when the price came down, obviously they bought that new dip too. But there's a lot of people, more people than what you can see here. Majority of folks are underwater on this coin. So keep in mind that can work as a resistance at 1440 mark, mainly because just that's how market makers control the price. They'll notice open interest, they pay close attention to it, and then they typically sell at that point. Okay. Anyways, that's only hypothetical for the moment. Let's see what is less hypothetical in the daily time frame. We're back up over the 20-day SMA. Once again, I mentioned previously a closure above $13, preferably $13.30 is optimal. So we're on target for that. Today's candlestick hasn't closed yet, but it does seem probable at this point that may happen. We're above 50 in the RSI, which is fantastic. Money flow index is above the price still, which implies we have a lot more sustainability, and that even though this coin is reaching, or more so on the overbought side, it's still sustainable because a lot of people own this coin and have a lot of foundation of volume below the price here at about the $12 mark. Stochastic swinging up, MACD's converging. These are all very positive signs. More likely than not, we're going to see further upside here for this coin. And again, keep in mind this level here, 1325 is a round number, was a previous high where the price had difficulty crossing that level, came back down to retest, retested again, inevitably broke down. So instead of that working as a resistance, we can presume that may be a new support. Okay. Again, it's not an exact science, folks. You want to take this and every other little thing that we're looking at into consideration. There's no one indicator that's going to give you everything you want out of it. Okay. Again, some folks are looking for that catch-all. They want these these green arrows and these red dots and stuff, and it's a little too much, right? The key takeaway is just to learn 2 or 3 good little indicators per time frame, and just use a few small, just a few indicators per time frame. I like to mention that because some people will they'll have like, the 37-minute chart and the 45-hour charts and like all sorts of weird stuff. Literally just daily, 4-hour, and the hourly time frame, you can get a lot from that. It's really all I do and all I focus on. And I would say my success rate's pretty high. Again, not a brag at all. It's just literally the facts. And try not to inundate yourself with too much information, I guess, is the takeaway here. So having said that, the 4-hour time frame, what do we look at? Well, we're above all moving averages minus the 50-day SMA, kind of working as a potential resistance. That 0.618 fib level also holding there. So again, a lot of times when you see that initial rejection, the price will come back down to the local high, or in this case, the potential new low, right? That's the concept. We've got to give 1325 a chance to be a new support. So if the price does pull back, that'd be a consideration for a pivot point there. We're over 50 on the RSI. Money flow index is increasing. MACD is converging. While stochastic is starting to lose momentum, we're still in pretty good shape here. We do got to recognize, though, we are getting closer to the top here. We've been running for 36 hours straight. So again, 4-hour candle times 9. Basically, we've been running for a day and a half. So hypothetically, the price goes sideways and channels for a little bit, and then legs up again for another 36 hours continuation. That's a really common occurrence. So I'm going to be looking for a potential, type of, bullish channel. And if we can kind of maintain this, $13.25 to $14 range, then there's a strong chance we're going to continue higher from there, pending Bitcoin doesn't take a nosedive. All right. So just to keep in mind, that's kind of where we're at there. So again, mostly good stuff here for this coin. Hourly time frame, just one last little indicator, and we can see all green lights here to leave your long position open. Do not short into this bullish trend. It makes no sense at all to short right now. But granted, by the time you watch this, the coin could definitely be in lower value. So hypothetically, you could have gotten some value there, right? Shorting is definitely a good viable option to trade. I'm not saying that you can't or shouldn't do that. It's just that the trend is up right now, and shorting against it is just, you're going to find less successful trading opportunities. Okay, so until we see a definitive shift in momentum here, longs make much more sense than a shorts. Okay, so that's just kind of where we're at there. I hope that makes sense. Last but not least, make sure you check out Bitunix, folks. $12,000 deposit bonus, no KYC or VPN required. These guys are awesome. If you use my link to register, you're eligible for all future rewards and bonuses. Next month, we're going to offer another promotion. They're fantastic about taking care of our community. Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, too, if you want to see my playout charts and just kind of stay on top of that. I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.